Welcome, everyone. Today, we are going to be talking about client retention in today's insurance landscape. This is one of our Levitate webinars to help clients and people in our network understand some of the strategies that can help boost and grow their insurance business. Before we get started, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Meg. I'm on the Levitate content team. If you are one of our clients, you know that we have a very robust library of content here at Levitate, emails, social media posts, etc. I'm on the team that designs and creates that content for our clients to utilize. I also help run our webinar program to help educate people in our network to stay up to date on different strategies to utilize some of the features within Levitate, but also to grow their business and stay relevant in ever-changing markets. And so today we're going to be diving into the changing landscape in insurance and some ways that insurance businesses can stay top of mind, continue to build trust with their community, and ride the wave of a very challenging market. So let's go through the agenda. We're going to start with why client retention matters in today's market. I'm going to show you some really impactful numbers from a survey that we did at Levitate, as well as some market research that we've done in preparation for this webinar. We're then going to go through some consumer and agency trends. So it's important to look at how consumers are behaving in a market that is fluctuating and changing, but also how other agencies, maybe some competitors, are also adjusting to those changes as well. Then we're going to talk about the fun stuff, communication strategies to strengthen client relationships, to keep in touch, to stay relevant, to continue building trust and maintain those connection points so that we can keep people coming through the door. Last, we're going to talk about some of the features within Levitate. So you're going to see lots of screenshots today, lots of examples. We're going to be covering a lot. Feel free to pause this and take notes as needed. That is encouraged. At Levitate, we understand the importance of staying in touch with clients in a way that makes sense in current state of your industry. And so just like any industry, insurance has its own set of market challenges. So in addition to helping our clients and the people in our network utilize our content and features, we also track market fluctuations. And we're going to go through some of those today so that you can continue to grow your business and stay relevant in the industry, but with strategies that make sense contextually. So as you all know, currently there are some really big challenges in the insurance industry as a whole. And depending on what type of insurance you focus on, your business is probably being impacted in different ways. The insurance industry is facing rising premiums, increased regulatory pressures, and carriers exiting states completely, making it more important than ever to retain clients and maintain trust. We're going to talk about both of those things today. I am a very data-driven person. Levitate is a very data-driven business. And so we like to start by looking at the numbers. Numbers tell a story. So let's dive into a little bit of data. We commissioned an independent survey to understand how clients of independent agencies were responding to the shift in the insurance market. And these are the numbers that came out of that survey. 79% noticed that premiums went up. 60% have or are thinking about changing providers. These are not small numbers, and these are not numbers that are meant to scare you. These numbers just tell a story. And so we want to take a look at these consumer trends and then how agencies are responding to them, and then start to develop maybe how you and your business could respond. We also took a look at some market research for agency trends. Agencies are becoming more retention focused, less acquisition focused. Essentially what that means is that agencies are allocating more resources towards retaining existing clients versus pushing for aggressive growth. Another way of saying that is focusing on retention over prospecting. 65% of agencies have increased their communication to policyholders in an attempt to do just that, to build trust, to retain existing clients. And then what we'll talk about a little bit in a second is using those existing clients then to grow the business instead of trying to get cold prospects in the door. So I'm going to be jumping into talking about some of these strategies for retaining clients. But I want you to really reflect on these numbers and how they tell a story of not just consumers, but other agencies like maybe your competitors and how they are adjusting to this shift in the market. So let's go ahead and dive in. This statistic shocks a lot of people. I love this statistic. I think it is a very optimistic one. I think it's a very positive one. But did you know that it is 5 to 7 times more expensive for a business to acquire a new client than to keep an existing one. 5 to 7 more times. So businesses are always looking for a solid ROI, right? We always want to make sure that we're getting a return on our investment. And that includes in our marketing strategy. So if it's 5 to 7 times more expensive to acquire a new client, shifting focus to retaining existing ones is a very cost-effective way to shift business priorities. So really think about that. It means that every dollar you invest in building stronger relationships with current clients goes a lot further than chasing new ones. And beyond just the dollars and cents, right? Because we're all here for a lot of different reasons. Retention means building trust, having loyal clients, and making our clients feel valued. And that's really where the magic happens. We're going to go through this life cycle analysis of a client, sort of to highlight where are the important touch points along the way when working with a client, and how does retention naturally lead to new clients anyway? So go ahead and take a look at this graphic. I know this is a really simplified way of looking at the life cycle or maybe the business consumer journey of an insurance client, but we want to look at all the different stages they're going through. So we got this green portion here, the initial onboarding. You get a new client, maybe they were referred to you, maybe they found you organically, however you found that client, however that client found you. You're onboarding them, and then, life happens and they have their first claim. They have their first claim for whatever type of insurance they're using you for. You handle that, you work with your client, you provide an excellent experience for them. And then there's an opportunity to explore other services. You provided a great service, you were there for them, you built trust, maybe you offer a wider variety of services. So then renewal time comes around. If they had a great experience, they're renewing with you, then there's an opportunity to ask them for a Google review or a testimony, and then the life cycle sort of continues. If you leave a great Google review, then they're referring people to you, then you're onboarding those people, and the cycle continues and your business grows. So let's take a look at this. Where are the opportunities here to stay in touch with that client that is already in that journey? They're already in the orbit of your business. There's a lot of opportunity here to have a touch point, to grow that trust, to stay connected, and to make them have an awesome experience. So what I've done here is I've listed out some of the features that we have at Levitate that are designed to help you keep in touch with your clients. Start to think about, for your business, where do these make sense? When are you texting them? Maybe to remind them that you have additional services or remind them that their renewal is coming up. We also offer websites. People often find insurance agents because of their website. So that would be initial onboarding, the phase of initial onboarding, maybe Google review, because maybe you're displaying some of your Google reviews on your website. You want to make sure your website is healthy. You want to make sure that your website is searchable. You have social media. This is a really big one for that purple one, exploring other services. So perhaps you've onboarded a client for a certain type of insurance. You connect with them on social media, and then they're connected with you on social media, and you start posting about other services that you provide, different types of insurance, maybe more niche types of insurance, and then you're able to maybe upsell them into those, but they wouldn't have had that awareness without your social media. I think you understand where I'm going with this. We also have features for obviously emailing clients, automations that help them go through this journey whenever they're onboarded, when they have a claim, when it's time to renew. All of that can be automated. We have handwritten cards, which I'll show you a picture of a screenshot of in a second, and as well as scheduling a call. Someone has to put in a claim or they have a renewal that's coming up. They might want to book a call so that they can connect with you one-on-one. There's lots of opportunity for touch points here. And really, I can give my opinion about where I feel like these will fit into the customer journey. But ultimately, you get to decide when it is time to connect with your clients in meaningful ways. And there's lots of different ways to do it. There's not just one. A lot of times clients are really shocked at just how many different ways we're able to connect with people, because a lot of times people have their own preferences with how they would like to be connected with. So let's dive in a little bit deeper into strategies for retaining clients. High level, we've talked about how insurance agencies have ramped up their communication with policyholders, right? Why is that? Because staying connected especially in uncertain times, makes a huge difference. People want to feel reassured. People want to know that you're being proactive for them. The more we can showcase that in different ways through some of the things that I've listed already, the more trust we can build. So I want to go a little bit deeper than just sending an email, posting on social media. Those things are important, but I want to dive into a little bit more into the nitty-gritty of what we are sending. What are we sending to policyholders? What are we posting online to the people that are in our network that we're connected with? I like to look at content in terms of buckets, because if we don't think of content in terms of categories, it can feel really overwhelming, and it can kind of just feel like this vast area of there's a million opportunities. I don't know where to start. So let's start really simple. A really good place to start is educational touch points. Staying top of mind by sending out educational pieces via email or posting educational pieces online. Staying top of mind and boosting that relationship through safety tips. At Levitate, we create content every single day for insurance agents, and safety tips always perform so well. Information on how to submit a claim, educating your audience before they ever need that information to empower them for when something does happen. Talking about the insurance industry, getting really transparent about the challenges that people are facing, the rising premiums, maybe why that's happening, and maintaining the position of being a thought leader in the insurance industry. Educational resources allows your clients and your prospects to see that you're an expert in the industry, someone who isn't gatekeeping information about insurance, and that you're someone that they can trust and ask questions. And that's ultimately what we want. We want people to feel like they can come, they can ask questions, you can talk about your services, you can tell them how you can help, and then they become loyal clients. All right, bucket number 2, a really important one, a really fun one, if you ask me as a content creator, is building rapport. There's so much opportunity in the insurance industry to have lighthearted takes on things, to regularly check in, to utilize holidays, awareness days, lots of fun checkpoints to make sure that you're building and maintaining those client relationships. The numbers show, and I will show some of these numbers in a few slides, that lighthearted check-ins can make a huge difference with clients. Enormous difference with clients, whether that's a text, whether that's an email, a social media post, a handwritten card. It doesn't have to be fancy. These are probably the lowest energy and most impactful. So low cost, high reward types of content that you can be putting out and pouring energy to. And I will have a few examples of those in a moment. The last one is social proof. So talked about this a little bit when we went through sort of the customer client journey, but this could be Google reviews, case studies of clients. These help maintain loyalty and they drastically improve client retention. Think about when you're working with a service provider. I'm sure you work with service providers all the time. Seeing that they're having a really good experience, seeing that their clients are having a really good experience with them helps you enter into that relationship already optimistic, already feeling good, already with a certain amount of trust. So reviews are great for new clients, but they also keep clients loyal as well, and they keep clients coming back. So we're going to talk a little bit about strategies to get Google reviews here in a second. So according to our market research, 75% of agencies are offering more educational content to clients, helping them stay informed, helping them navigate different changes in the market. This is one of our specialties. So I have to brag about our content because I'm on the content team and I create a lot of this content. But I always like to encourage people to remember that clients don't know what they don't know, and empowering them with information helps them make informed decisions, which can lead to upgrading policies, renewing, building trust, etc. These are 2 examples of educational posts, but I want to start off by saying that some of the informational or educational social media content or email content that's available might seem like second nature to you because you know insurance really well. The average person doesn't. I don't. I am not an insurance agent. So this is a post on ensuring holiday valuables. 5 tips for safeguarding valuables this holiday season. And I remember when we created this post and we went into the nitty-gritty of what happens if you get something for a holiday gift that's really expensive, you need to insure it. It answered common questions. And that gets people thinking about stuff. A lot of people aren't even considering that. This other one is what to know post Hurricane Helene, steps to take if your home was damaged. Now, this one is really important because it's educational. It's also extremely empathetic. And so These posts are posts that already exist in the Levitate library for you that you can go in, you can customize them however you'd like, and then post them. And then your community is able to connect with you and you're able to build that trust with your existing community. There's also tons and tons of email templates to go with these types of social media posts. If you're new to Levitate and you've never poked around in the Levitate library, this is a little bit of what it looks like. If you look over here on the left, we have the campaign section, and it's really easy, very user-friendly, but you're able to scroll through and see different types of educational content that has already been created for you that you can click on and just go ahead and schedule out to either your email list of clients, or you can post on social media, etc. So we have a deer collision reminder, what to do if you hit a deer. A lot of people don't know what to do until that happens, and that's not the time you want to be thinking about what to do when you hit a deer. 7 severe weather prep tips. Things like that really positions your agency as a valuable resource, especially in times of need. As insurance agents, you all know that the time to be thinking about this stuff is not whenever you're emotional and something has happened. All right, switching to a little bit more lighthearted here, building rapport. We don't always want to only be sending out things to our clients that are like, here's what to do in an emergency. We also want to check in, build a little bit of rapport. I put up this example because I personally loved this fall check-in. If anyone's ever watched Parks and Recreation, that is a Ron Swanson GIF that we threw in there. But it is literally just, hey, it's fall. The weather's changing. If you have any questions about your insurance, let me know. We all know that relationships are everything in this business. People need insurance, but what they really, really need is a trusted advisor who looks out for them. By keeping your communication lighthearted and consistent, which is really important, you're showing clients that they matter to you beyond just the policy. If you were to get this from, say, your real estate agent, and you're not buying a house and you're not selling a house, but you used a real estate agent, they have your email and they send you something like this, you might respond and say, you know what, hey, how are you doing? I have a cousin that's looking to sell their house. I should connect the two of you. It's an important touch point. And it's these small, consistent check-ins that really build loyalty, and it keeps clients from maybe wandering to competitors. These emails, check-in emails with our clients get such high open rates. We've seen 68% plus open rates for these types of emails. And for anyone who maybe doesn't look at their open rates, maybe you're not even using a software where you can see your open rates quite yet. But in Levitate, you can see how many people are opening your emails, how many people are clicking on your emails. And an industry average that's pretty healthy is about 10%. So these types of emails are getting a 68% open rate. So do the math. However many people you have on your email list, that's a pretty high number, most likely, even if you have 100 people on your email list. All right, that third bucket is, so there's a lot of different types of social proof. I will say there's Google reviews, there's testimonials, there's video social proof, there's lots of different types of social proof. But what we're going to focus on is Google reviews, because a lot of people are going to Google these days to look for reviews before they work with a service provider. It's a really powerful way to establish credibility, to find new clients, but also for returning clients to see if other people are having a good experience with you and your services or your agency. So when your clients are seeing that others are singing your praises, it reinforces their decision to stay with you. So this is an example of one of our Google review request email templates, right? It's really kind of simple. It says it's a holiday themed one that we recommend for clients to send out over the holidays. Wishing you and your loved ones a holiday season filled with joy. Your continued support means so much to us. That's why we would love nothing more this holiday season than to hear what you think of your time working with us. And then obviously it encourages them to leave a Google review. Basically, once they click that link, it takes them to this survey. This is one of the new Levitate features that I think is amazing. It has been extremely impactful for our clients, and I just love it. Basically, what this does is you're able to put your company name, the survey name, a little intro into them giving you a review, and then they're prompted to do something similar to what looks like a Google review. They can give you a rating from 1 to 5 stars. They're able to leave a review, etc. If that client leaves you a 4 or 5 star rating, they are automatically jumped over to Google review. Their review is copy and pasted, and they're encouraged to then post that on Google as well. So that is really filtering out those clients that just love to sing your praises, and it gets our clients tons of Google reviews so that when people are going to renew their policies and they're looking at your website and they're looking at your Google profile, they're able to see those amazing reviews. We are going to jump into our texting feature. We get asked about this feature all the time because, of course, in today's world, texting is a really important way to stay in touch, especially because people are moving around. They're not always in front of their computer. And so Levitate makes it really, really easy to text people in bulk. And it really gives clients a personal feel without intruding on their personal time. So you can quickly check in with clients if maybe their renewal's coming up or if they're being onboarded, even with just simple check-in saying, do you have any questions? I'm a phone call away if you have anything that you need. One of our happy clients, JR Insurance, has had really amazing results from just simply setting up a birthday automation. So basically within Levitate, every time a new contact comes in, that new contact is prompted to put in their birthday, and you can set up an automation to automatically text those people on their birthday, wishing them a happy birthday. And they have received so many amazing responses just by setting up a really simple automation, completely hands-off, completely set up for you, and just a really good way to stay in touch. I mean, it's amazing to receive happy birthday texts from your insurance agent whenever it's your birthday, right? You don't ever expect that. The last feature I really want to showcase here, because I think this is really, really cool, are our personal cards. These are handwritten cards. They look handwritten. They're handwritten by a little robot. And basically you can go into the Levitate library and choose, say, a happy birthday, a holiday card, whatever it is you want to do. You can personalize these. You choose a design, font, you can send a little thank you, anything in between, and it automatically sends them to any of the contacts that you choose, shows up at their door, and it looks just like a little handwritten card straight from either you or your agency. Again, kind of brainstorming where this might fit into that customer journey in a way that makes sense. Maybe it's whenever their renewal's coming up. Maybe it's whenever their birthday's coming up. Levitate is designed to help you stay in touch and continue to build trust with your existing network, which right now in today's insurance landscape is incredibly important. So important. And again, that 5 to 7% more expensive to get a new client than to retain an existing client. Levitate is built to help you do exactly that. It's more cost efficient, and it really kind of comes back to the heart and soul of what we're doing here, which is making sure that our clients feel taken care of, especially in their time of need, right? Which is what our insurance policies are really for. All right, that is all I have for you all today. I hope this webinar was helpful for all of you. And of course, go back and rewatch anything that you would like to revisit, take notes. I hope you all have an amazing rest of your day.